75 laps to choose the boss of the beach on Roote's Gas Bar United 8s here at Sauble Speedway. Looking for the green flag. Into 3 out of 4 down the front. It is out and we're racing. Off in racing. Jason Parker out front. Mike Ford in 63 and 11 Matt Johnston. Then we got 57 Austin Finley, 44 Matt Hopkins, and 74 Jagger McMaster. Jason Parker first lap time at 16:2:11. Johnson second in the 11 car and Mike Ford third in the 63. Austin Finley is next in the 57. He's been in there a few times this year, but has yet to win. And right now, he's got the new tires on the car for tonight and this weekend. He sits in 4th position. McMaster is next in the 74, followed by Zach Casemore, Andrew Gressel, last year's champion in 81. Then it's Hopkins in 44 and Tyler Sagan in the white, number 1. But at the front where it counts right now, race leader number 8, Jason Parker. Then we've got the 11 car in second spot. That is Matt Johnston, followed by Mike Ford in 63. Dave?
I think right now the front runners would love to run something around a 15.7 or a 15.6. Give yourself plenty of room in case you need to pick the pace up a little bit, and that'd be a good spot to be for a few laps. In the 8-cylinder division, we're talking about drivers with more experience. More experience means they know this is a long race. There's a lot of time and probably one caution somewhere in this race, which is going to punch this field up again. So the big thing is, don't get down a lap early.
Jason Parker hanging on. He's turning laps right now at 15.593. It is Parker out front. Matt Johnston second in that number 11 car in third spot. It is 63 Mike Ford. Then 57 Austin Finley and number 74 Jagger McMaster. Zach Casemore, who's broken out a couple of times this weekend, he is next in the 16. Then 81 Andrew Gressel. Andrew sitting there being very patient so far in this one. We're only 9 laps into the scheduled 75 as Jason Parker puts a lap on the 68 of Taylor Nelson. It is Parker out front. Then Johnson next in the 11 car. Going by, we've got the 63 of Mike Ford. Ford won a heat earlier tonight. Then 57 of Austin Finley, Jagger McMaster, and 16 of Zach Casemore. 81 is Andrew Gressel. Andrew, this is the first time back out with this car since the Dash for Cash, when it actually lost a wheel and put Andrew up against the wall down in number 3 corner. Great to have him back tonight as he sits back behind the number 16 of Zach Casemore.
Really, for anybody, Jim, back probably 9th position or further, it is going to be very difficult if this race continues green for a long time to make up much room with the leaders. Right now, Jason Parker's crew will be on the headset with him. His spotter will be saying, slow and steady wins the race here. You've got lots of time. Don't use up the car. Don't use up the tires on this car in particular in case we need to make a very quick run late in this race.
So Parker just ran his fastest lap of the race. He ran a 15.496. So he comes close to the breakout, but not quite. So Parker, he is still running some fast laps out there, Dave. As we continue to run hard, here we are 16 laps in.
Yeah, and I'm sure the crew is on with him right now saying, that was a little bit close, you want to back off a little earlier. So you back off either getting into the corner or back off earlier down the straightaway to try and save yourself a tenth of a second. A tenth of a second will be all the difference between a fourth place finish tonight and the win.
So Parker, as we complete lap number 18 of 75, is your leader. Johnson is second. We lost Matt Hopkins. The 44 heads off the racetrack. It's Johnson in second. In third spot, Mike Ford. In fourth spot, 57, Austin Finley. And in fifth now, 81, Andrew Gressel. Andrew set back in seventh position for a long time, now starting to make some moves here on the track. Up to fifth now, Andrew running times of about 15:5:08. So picking up the pace here. Very patient for the first 17, 18 laps, now starting to progress towards the front. Race leader Parker in that 8 car has not trailed, 21 laps in. Johnson is next in the 11 car. Then we go back to the 63 of Mike Ford. Andrew Gressel now in 4th spot. Austin Finley is 5th in the number 57. So Andrew picking up some speed now and starting to work his way towards the front.
But I think for Andrew to make a dent in the lead, he is going to need to see a caution flag, or he's going to have to go too quick and hit that breakout. The problem was early in this race, he got back a fair distance in this field, and unfortunately is now going to have to push the issue to see if he can get closer to the front or hope for that caution to happen.
Andrew's best lap on lap 22 when he ran a 15:4.84. So picking up the pace. He is up to 4th position. Mike Ford having a great weekend in the 63. But right now, we are with the number 1, Tyler Sagan, down in the rhubarb, back on the track. And he slows right down as Andrew Gressel goes by in the 81. 8, Parker continues to lead it. Johnson second in the 11 with 63 of Mike Ford next, and 81, Andrew Gressel in the 4th place car. Dave?
The white number 1 of Sagan seemed like for a second there he was right down on power, and as you mentioned, Jim, he made his way to the infield. Now the car has come back to life again. That could have been the caution that people like Andrew Gressel was looking for. Unfortunately, though, Sagan able to get that car back on track and up to speed.
We're just about a third of the way through this 75-lapper, brought to you by Roote's Gas Bar on Fireplace and Patio Shop Night at Sauble Speedway. No one has had anything so far for Jason Parker in the number 8. Last night he won the feature, got the pole, and has looked good so far in this one. It's Parker, then Johnson in 11, followed by 63 Ford, 81 Gressel, and 16 Zach Casemore. Haven't talked a lot about Zach Casemore yet. Zach, a feature winner here at Sauble this year, and right now is in 5th position.
Well, I know for all of these drivers, it's a team effort. It takes more than yourself to be able to get a car that'll stay this consistent for this long. I know Jason Parker's got a huge crew to help him out during the week, and the result of that is what we're seeing, the consistency on the track. And for that matter, every one of these drivers has a big support system. Folks who are willing to give up their evenings during the week to go and put wrenches to the car to make sure that every bolt is tight and everything is ready to go the minute they get to the racetrack.
And Jason Parker running the Quick Series as well in Ontario. Picked up a win at Peterborough Speedway back in July, beating Sean Chenoweth. And Parker won the Dash of Cash here at Sauble Speedway back in July. So he likes the big money races, and he is going for it here tonight. Looks like we got a breakout for Andrew Gressel. Andrew just ran a 15:293. Did that on lap 33. So Andrew Gressel has broken out. He'll have to drop back 3 positions and wait for those guys to go by, and then he can start racing again. So a tough break for Andrew, who is making his way towards the front. He'll fall out of the top 5.
And if before he wanted to find someone to get a yellow flag, now he really needs that to to be able to make his way back to the front of this field. That could be the thing very well that takes Andrew Gressel out of being a factor in this race tonight.
36 laps complete, coming up on halfway. Number 8, Jason Parker, has not trailed. Parker in the 8 coming in and about to put a lap on Nick Hamill in the 18. Halfway, 38 down, 37 to go. Halfway, it is Parker in 8, followed by the 11 of Matt Johnston, then 63 Mike Ford, and number 16 Zach Casemore. 57 is Austin Finley, and what a race Mike Ford is having tonight, Dave. Mike Ford, coming out of nowhere, hasn't had a great season, but tonight and this weekend has been fast.
Right now at Sauble Speedway, this is a two-car race as they continue to put a little bit of space between themselves and the third car, and now starting to move up on some more lap traffic. They'll probably be into that traffic 2 or 3 laps from now. But as they continue to put cars between themselves and those trying to catch them, they are really separating themselves from this field, and it's going to end up being a two-car battle. We still have a lot of race left here, Jim. We've got 33 laps to go. Lots of racing still.
So all of a sudden, Andrew Gressel has worked his way back into 5th position. Dave McMahon up in 7th. He's one of the stronger cars out there. Been very quiet so far in this one. 57, Austin Finley, just being passed out there. Austin now in 6th position as Gressel goes by. But up front, and it is the number 8, Jason Parker, who has never trailed. But Jason now is going to find himself in traffic. He's coming up on Jagger McMaster, Jerry Broom, and Nick Hamill, having to work his way through traffic. Right now, probably the most traffic that he has had all night long. Going by Jerry Broom, going by Nick Hamill, now coming up on Jagger McMaster. We're going to see more and more of this because we are going non-stop so far in this one. Number 8, Jason Parker leads it. Matt Johnston 2nd. Mike Ford 3rd. We haven't talked a lot about the 11 of Matt Johnston. Matt Johnston having a heck of a run tonight and trailing only Jason Parker in this one, Dave.
And traffic is holding up Jason Parker just a little bit. Not fault of the traffic. You got to battle to try and stay on the lead lap if you can. Going down a lap, sure, you're lucky dog first to get a chance to get a lap back, and now a good bit of space between Parker and the 11 car. That traffic is going to help him stretch that lead back out again.
So it's Parker, Johnson, and Mike Ford. Then we go back to the 16 of Casemore and the 81 of Andrew Gressel. Back through the field, it's Dave McMahon in 6th position, Austin Finley in 7th, Caden Wright in 8th, Jagger McMaster in 9th, and Tyler Sagan in 10th. Jerry Broom is 11th, Nick Hamill is 12th, followed by Taylor Nelson and Matt Hopkins. But up front, Jason Parker continues to lead it. Parker out front. Johnson in 2nd spot, having problems getting by Jagger McMaster. McMaster running on the high side, and it was all that Matt Johnston could do to get by.
And I think Johnson at 11 might have had to give him a little love tap, getting into turn 3 to move the rear end of that 74 car over a little bit. He was on the bumper of the leader, Jason Parker. Now he is half a straightaway back. A lot of ground to make up.
This is the biggest lead that Parker has had all night long. It is Parker out front of Johnson in 11, Ford in 63, Casemore in 16, and Gressel in 18. Jason Parker has not trailed. Johnson, 11, in 2nd spot. And Johnson will have to be very careful not to break out. His best lap was a 15.415. So dangerous territory in there because you can't fall below that. 15.4.
And McMaster now gets to the low side. That allows the 63 car to roll around the outside. didn't hold that car up quite as much as he did to the 11 of Johnson. And so now your top three are quite spread out. And is there enough time to make up based on 1 or 2 tenths of a second? I don't know. This might be the lead that Jason Parker needed.
So Parker, with 18 laps to go now in that number 8, we got Matt Johnston running in second in the 11, Mike Ford third in the 63, then Zach Casemore, followed by the number 81 of Andrew Gressel. And right now, Gressel working his way through traffic, trying to get by Jerry Broom, and Gressel in that 5th place position. So traffic paying a big part in this race right now. We saw it for the 11 of Johnson, and we saw it for Ford in the number 63. Now Gressel having time getting through that traffic as well. Here goes the Casemore car trying to get around McMaster, and that is for 4th place. He's going to try and get around McMaster, of course, a lap car, and Casemore manages to get through. 60 laps in the books, 15 to go. It's been quite a run in the Roote Gas Bar. United 8's here tonight at Sauble Speedway. 60 laps down, 15 to go. Jason Parker, what a night he is having. What a weekend. He won last night. Now in a pretty good position to do it again here tonight.
Well, this is an example of why you want to start pole position on a long race. You get a chance to get an early lead, especially when we're bracket racing. Get a chance to get out into nice, clean air and give yourself an opportunity to stretch that lead out a little bit while everybody else deals with traffic behind you. Jason Parker has taken advantage of that starting position so far tonight. We haven't had a caution yet. Are going all the way here. 12 laps to go. Make it 11 laps to go. It looks pretty good for that right now, Jim.
Going through the field, Jason Parker's your leader. Matt Johnston second in the 11. Third place, Mike Ford in the 63. Fourth is the 16 of Zach Casemore, followed by 81 Andrew Gressel in 5th place. Dave McMahon in the 26s in 6th position. Caden Wright is 7th. Austin Finley in 8th position. And Jagger McMaster in 9th. Laps are winding down. We are down to 9 to go. Jason Parker continues to lead it. Parker has never trailed. His last lap, he ran a 15.782. His best time, a 15.423, away back on lap number 16. He's been very patient and held within his line here and trying to keep it above the breakout time.
He's got to push it a little bit right here if he wants to put the 8th place car down a lap as he's about to do. Austin Finley goes down a lap, but he is going to have to push the edge of breakout to keep that space now, and we'll see. Remember, if you break out within 5 laps of the end of the race, you are disqualified. So breaking out from this point forward is very costly.
5 laps to go. 5 laps remaining for Jason Parker. Matt Johnston running second. Mike Ford in third, followed by Zach Casemore and Andrew Gressel. Ford having a problem getting around the 18 of Nick Hamill. Manages to get by. Ford, your 3rd place driver. I don't think he's moved out of 3rd the entire race. Just right in that position. It is Parker. Then we have got Johnson, Ford, that go back to Zach Casemore and Andrew Gressel, your top 5. Laps are winding down. We're down to 3 to go for the Roote Gas Bar, Boss of the Beach. It is Parker now. He will get the 2 to go signal this time by Jason Parker in 8. Matt Johnston 11. Mike Ford 63. Zach Casemore in 16. Back through the field, Andrew Gressel in 81. Dave McMahon. Right now, the white flag about to fly for Jason Parker. 1 to go. Jason Parker is about to become the new boss of the beach. Parker into 3. Out of 4. Down the front for the checkered flag and boss of the beach, Jason Parker. Matt Johnston for 2nd. Mike Ford for 3rd. Zach Casemore for 4th. Followed by Andrew Gressel. Andrew Gressel, your 5th place car. Dave McMahon 6th. Caden Wright 7th. Austin Finley 8th. Tyler Sagan 9th. Jagger McMaster 10th. Jerry Broom 11th. Nick Hamill 12th. Taylor Nelson in 13th. And Matt Hawkins went off earlier in 14th. So we've got a new boss of the beach, and it is Jason Parker, Dave.
And a big scream from the crowd. How about a green to checkered 75 lap feature for the United Eights tonight, putting on a great show. A big thanks once again to Roote's Gas Bar for sponsoring the United Eight program this year.
Dave, they did that in 19 minutes and 45 seconds. 75 laps, 19 minutes, 45 seconds. So Jason got to celebrate in Victory Lane last night. He does it again tonight, Dave.
We got to give him a second here. That's a lot of work, 75 laps. So this is the race tonight, the first 3 cars. The second 3 cars we're going to bring out will be the points championship for the year. And there he is. Give him a nice round of applause. Jason Parker jumps out. Come on over here, my friend. Turn around, look at that camera. We're going to pretend like you're a good-looking guy. No, just kidding. Hey, what is it about Boss of the Beach weekend or big weekends that get you excited? Because you perform when it's a big weekend.
Well, we love these big shows. Credit to the track for putting on these events. The sponsor of this series, Roote's Gas Bar. Without those guys putting up this kind of funds, that's what brings us here. They're big events. We like to win the money. The guys put on a little extra work today on this car, and it worked really good.
All right, who do you want to say thanks to? You got a big, well, I think you almost have the car covered with people for the photo.
Yeah, it's great. I got to thank the guys that work on the car. The crew is key to this. Without crew, you can't do this. All their families that support them and let them do this. So I got to thank them, and then of course the sponsors, because without the funds, you can't bring a car like this to the track. So Mowbray's Canadian Tire in Port Elgin, Just Foam It, Macdonald Fuels, Saugeen Shores Transmission, RGC Sports, Leading Edge Earthworks, Virtue Farms, K&K Lawn Care, Ron Gibbons Construction, and Keep Right. And I'd like to thank the fans for coming. It wasn't a great day for weather, but thanks everyone for coming out.
You got that right. It was a tough day. Give him a round of applause. He's your boss of the beach, Jason Parker. We gave Matt extra time to get out of the car. Come on over here. All right, second spot for the 11 of Matt Johnston. Hey, you had a great day. We didn't talk about you enough, and the next thing you know, you sat in second for the longest time. I know traffic got to be a problem for you, kind of held you up a little bit, or you may have had something for Jason in the end.
Oh, possibly, but it's so hard with this this thing we have going on here.
The breakout rule, yeah.
Yeah, crazy thing. But yeah, it's really hard to pass someone like when you're that close to everyone. So it's been tough, but we got a new car this year and works awesome, and it's been really good tonight. So it was awesome.
How about your sponsors? You got to say thanks to them.
Oh yeah, for sure. GM Electrical Mechanical. We've got the Dogfather and Sauble, Davis Contracting, Goulet Films, McKinnon Overhead Doors. We've got HaveOne.com and Matches Heating and Cooling.
All right, congratulations, great run.
Thank you very much.
All right, give Matt a nice round of applause. Let's get to third. Jim also, we didn't talk enough about you tonight, but Jim mentioned it at one point. I don't think he ever left third spot. I think you just kind of settled in. They got away from you a little bit out front. You got into traffic. That pulled you back a little bit. But that's still a pretty good run in this field.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I just basically put it in cruise control and just laid back. I didn't want to break out. Like, this is the best I've done this year so far, so I'm pretty good.
And how about your sponsors? Who do you want to say thanks to?
Low and Slow Craft Barbecue out of Paisley, Jason Legg, Cooperators, and a big thank you to Jason Legg. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him right now. He's part owners in this car. He's helped out. It's just tremendous help.
He's a big supporter of racing, not only at Sauble Speedway, but all over the province, really.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy. He loves racing. He loves to see the cars out here. He helps out to get as many cars out here as he can. Great guy. I'd just like to thank my wife and my daughter there too for being supportive and stuff. So, well, it's great.
Always thank the wallet of the wife.
Yes.
Give him a round of applause. How about your top three for Boss of the Beach tonight at Sauble Speedway?